Coming up on this episode of Low Range, we take on the Nullarbor. But we're doing as little blacktop as possible. Now get ready for some amazing scenery, beautiful beaches and stunning coastline. The Nullarbor has a lot more to offer than you might think.
Wow, the big galah. See, the bakery's for sale here too, Gleno. No good for you, mate. You'd chew up the profits pretty quick.
That'd be like you owning a pub, mate.
Oh, middle of anywhere, mate. Talking about middle of anywhere, here we are, the middle of the road between Sydney and Perth.
Right smack bang middle of
In the
Australia.
middle, and they mark it with a dirty great big galah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do there, mate? Which way?
Well, I need to do the Nullarbor to finish my loop. Yeah.
Heading west.
Heading west?
Change the draw.
I reckon
Low
we could
range
find a low range way to do the Nullarbor.
And there's a little section on the blacktop called the Mad Mile. I think that's about 140 k's.
Give you a race.
Yeah, no, but off the sides of it, there's some great little tracks.
Not this one.
And the coast.
Coast?
Straight
Sounds
down,
good. Coast. Beaches, tracks,
Fishing.
campsites, coast.
We're not doing it
Let's do it.
standing here, eh?
Why is it called the Nullarbor?
How about you let us know?
It's a bit dull and boring. Could be the Nullarbor.
Discovering places we've never seen. The journey doesn't start till the blacktop ends. It's better in the dirt, you know what I mean. Action and adventure, shift to low range. Action and adventure, shift to low range. Action and adventure, shift to low range.
Most people associate the Nullarbor with a straight bitumen road. But sharing a highway with big trucks and caravanners is not our idea of a getaway. So we'll take the Eyre Highway when we have to. But we're keen on getting off it to explore as often as possible.
The filling in the group was good. I think Gleno was ready for a big long road trip. I might have been a little bit more excited than the other guys because I was doing the Nullarbor, which would complete my loop of Australia.
What are you doing?
Getting some H2O for the camper trailer.
You doing the same?
No, I'm getting it for the car.
Everyone was keen and the sense of adventure was definitely playing a big part. We were ready for a big adventure.
I got a new vehicle on this trip that stretched 200 from ASG 4x4. My 79 was actually used on a family trip the week before, and I couldn't get it here in time. So the opportunity came up to bring the 200 series, stretch 600mm, canopy, roof flash and exhaust. There's no better way to test a product than bring it out on a low range trip.
We left Kimba. It was late in the afternoon when we got into Kimba. Left there, started heading west, got a few Ks under the belt, watched the sunset while we were driving, so we decided to pull into camp. We hit the hay early that night because we knew we had a big day ahead of us the next day.
Traditionally, we're not allowed to climb the rock when the sun's down, so I didn't mind that. There's little keepers, and they just spiritually look after that place. And if they go down with you at night, they can become pretty aggro. So I'm glad we didn't go up on the rock or play around it. But the morning, there was a bushfire somewhere around near, and it gave this, it was like mist, and it gave this beautiful, eerie feeling in the morning. And for miles and miles in every direction, it was absolutely glorious. There was a great feeling being there, a great way to start.
It was almost like the sun was coming up super slowly because it wasn't shining as much light through as what it usually would. So it actually made it a different type of sunrise. It was quite nice to watch. Wow, how nice is this?
That smoky haze adds to it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's a
different
nice
colours.
little
low film of it. Look, you can still see the mountains over the top of it, over the back.
That'd be the Flinders Ranges.
Oh my, look at the little layers of trees all the way through.
Looks like the ocean out there. Have a look.
Yeah.
Ocean of smoke.
It's the ocean.
Smoke on the land.
So it was an amazing view from up there. Sun goes up, sun comes down every single day, but this was different, and it just added to it. It was a really cool feeling.
Can you believe this rock was formed 7 kilometres underneath the Earth's surface? It's only taken 1,500 million years for enough soil to erode so we can see it today.
I saw the devil, he was standing there, blind in his eyes, was combing his hair, leaving blood on the faces of those he would reach. I've seen the devil.
Ernie, Denial Bay, you been here before, mate? I have heard reports that there is blue swimmer crabs that you can catch straight off the jetty here, so you haven't done any crabbing down here?
Oh yeah? So you going in for them?
No, I got crab pots, so I'm not going in, but the crab pots are.
Oh, so you're just going to chuck a crab pot in there and sit around and wait?
Yeah, I won't be waiting, I'll be flicking a lure.
Can we drive along that pier?
No, don't think so.
Good luck with it then, mate, eh?
They reckon Denial Bay is one of the best places to catch blue swimmer crabs because anyone can.
Tide's up, so that's in our favour.
The little fella told us he's going to catch a blue swimmer and he's going to catch a whiting.
Oh, this looks like a good spot here, boys.
What are we looking for?
Blue swimmer crabs.
Yeah, but I know you said that, but where are they?
In that grassy stuff down there.
You can't see them.
Really?
Yeah, they're camouflaged blue swimmer crabs. You watch this.
I
They
think it's
take
just-
a minute.
Pretty much doing anything that requires Keno to get a result ends up in everybody having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a dig at him.
I catch a fish, you buy me a beer.
Why don't you just put a hook through that and tell people you caught that?
You're cable tying a
Straight to
herring.
the centre. So you just do this.
This is like watching grass grow.
Yeah.
So now what do we got to do?
We wait. I better tie this off in case we get a monster.
This place is renowned, not just in Australia, but around the world, for its blue swimmer crabs.
They call me a gunner. Gonna do this, gonna try that.
You got one?
What do you mean you want in?
believe it, he's got...
How can you catch crabs if they're under the net?
And if you can't catch a blue swimmer crab here, you Keno didn't catch one.
I went up there and where the whitings are, put my hand in the water and caught a whiting.
I've seen you do that before, mate.
Yeah, $4 a fillet one of these. So I got the whiting. Let's go. See you, Keno.
See you, Keno.
Yeah, the guys definitely made a point of the fella standing right next to me could catch a crab.
Hang on a sec, fellas. We can call in a bit of authoritarian here, being Indigenous, and he's caught this illegally. Sorry, sir, I'm going to have to confiscate this.
I'd laugh if it bit you.
Okay.
He should have kept the bait. That was the biggest fish he caught.
You know, if the light had shined upon us and we were in a better position, then we'd have all this fish would be walking back like this, dragging them.
We decided to head west from Denial Bay, so we'd heard of a beautiful campsite on the water that's supposed to have some awesome waves.
I'm going back to my roots, where I belong. I'm going back to my roots. No, it won't take long to start again. I'm going back to the days where my soul was free.
Have a look at the view of the water, sand dunes. Beautiful. I had no idea it was like this down here.
Campsite was awesome. The one that we managed to get was set up high so we could actually see the water and the cliffs and the surf from the campsite. I don't know why no one else had got it. It was a great spot.
It's sat behind the dunes, but then you walk through to where the surf is, and it's just bay upon bay upon bay.
This stretch of ocean is supposed to be some of the best surfing in the world, and this makes the locals extremely protective of it. It also is home to some of the biggest great whites in the world, so I'll be staying out of it.
For surfies, you know, lovely lefts and rights coming off there, but apparently, according to the little fella, it just wasn't up to speed for him.
And the sunset was absolutely magnificent. It just went for as far as the eye could see. It was good.
Work on that sun, get a bit of suntan, you reckon?
Yeah, but I'm getting there, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, morning, gents.
Oh, good afternoon.
G'day. I thought you were still in bed.
Oh no, mate, I've been up checking the surf.
Is there any?
No, it's dropped
How do you
off.
check the surf?
Well, you go and watch it and see what's happening and
You must have been up early.
yeah, first light.
Did you wet the bed or something?
No, I just could hear the waves crash and they woke me up. They sounded big and I wobbled down there to have a look and it's dropped off overnight, unfortunately.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So,
How
are we
big are
going
they?
surfing?
Not here, I don't think so
Same as
today.
a fishing, mate. Same as a
Fish.
fishing.
Yeah, so he's got an excuse.
If we keep heading west, there's surf between here and Perth, all the way along the coast. So I think if we head over sort of Fowler's Bay way,
Fowler's Bay way.
Fowler's Bay way, and there's also, I was talking to some blokes down there, there's a lot of mulloway around there, so we might be able to get onto some fish, big jewies.
Mate, can we go four-wheel driving? We attempt to catch crabs, we attempt to catch fish. Now he's talking about attempt to catch a wave, and now attempt to catch a mulloway. Gonna catch a crab, gonna catch a wave.
All you guys
gonna
do
catch
is
a-
gonna get out of the bed and gonna have a coffee and sit down and have a yap.
No, we actually
gave you
get out of
time.
bed, we actually have a coffee.
Yeah.
So we decided we'd pack up camp, move on, try and find some waves elsewhere.
It's all right, mate.
It's all right.
It's all right.
fella, It's all right,
It's
little.
all right, Gunner.
You want to go for a drive in the sand dunes?
Yes, Gunner. So we headed west in search of some sand dunes so we could drive. And to see our first glimpse of the Nullarbor. But not before the crew car demanded some attention.
Just burn it.
It's about that time.
Hi, Gav, your truck's broken.
It is.
Righto. So there's no power to the car at all, anywhere.
No, I'm guessing that we've got a dodgy earth over here, which has had an increase in current, so I think we've blown a fusible link. That's the guess.
I would have to agree with that.
I'm pretty sure that's what Mel said when we pulled up.
That there should be joined to that. It's not actually. We just might make a whole new connection off the battery, I think. Moritz?
I tell you what, having people on the trip who can fix things on the fly makes a world of difference. If it was just me, I'd have to put my feet up and drink some tea until someone came along to help.
As we were heading west, the track started narrowing. There's a lot more trees, a lot of deadwood lying around on the ground, and the track was rocky and sandy.
Loving this area. I just keep picturing going in somewhere off the track. Now I can see you setting up camp for the day. Plenty of firewood. Beautiful.
It is very pretty around here, though, and lovely. This beautiful old road through here. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun in here.
And this track, it's a little bit reminiscent of the Frenchman's track up the Cape. We're a fair way away from there, but it's amazing. Different places you can go in the country that remind you of other places that are so far from each other, you know.
This sort of country we're in now, this is like all the way across through the goldfields of Western Australia, so not much difference at all. Soil colour might change just a bit, but countryside's exactly the same.
We're heading west along the track, and then we noticed another track that was heading towards the coast. So we decided to take that. We didn't know where it would head, but we knew it was going to get to the sand dunes or the beach. Bit of soft section here. Might be time for low range. I don't know if it is soft, but it's got water sitting on it. Oh, it's not too bad. A little bit slippery, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, bit of fun.
Feeling very beachy, Keno?
It is getting very beachy.
How far have we got?
I don't know, these dunes seem like they just keep going forever.
Oh, since that turn off, I reckon we're halfway.
This one looks a bit steeper and softer, guys.
Oh, look at that, mate.
Oh, I see water! Water, water, water!
Ah, H2O. Oh, listen to that.
Bit of squealing there on the Jeek, eh?
Hate that sound.
There's not much Glen likes less than pinstriping on his car, but he's just gonna have to suck it up.
Well, we drove up that track up the top of the cliffs, and you can see where people had in the past driven down onto the beach, but it was high tide when we were there. But I reckon we were probably a good 50 metres above sea level there. It just felt like I was at the very, very bottom of Australia. And the next stop was Antarctica.
The coastline is so pristine along there. Surfies love it.
Well, most surfers. Some of them tend to be really picky about where they throw their boards in, don't they?
Keep on rolling. You know just what to do. I said keep on rolling. There's many more miles to do. Keep on rolling the highway track. Keep on rolling and don't look back.
And then we came across some old farming equipment. I think it was old timber trailers. Might have been a boat trailer or a timber box trailer. Oh, you reckon we can get her running, Gleno?
No. But what we could do,
What is it?
set up camp around it, light it up.
Oh, we got the fuel to get it going. Put the fuel underneath.
What was it, an old trailer?
I think so. I think it's two
So
of
that's
them.
an old, like a railway sleeper or something there, isn't it?
I think this was like a timber makeshift box trailer thing, and then this is an old steel rimmed trailer, so really old.
I was just thinking about the life that they would have had with this. I mean, we fly around our big flash cars, and these blokes
Carting stuff around. in
carting stuff
timber.
around. Well, that was on the back of something because
They'll
it
have
was-
hover ships in years to come, and they'll be coming around here and looking at our rusty buckets of things.
In a paddock.
Yeah.
So far, we've done a really good job of sticking to the back roads on our trip west, but according to the maps and GPS, we're going to have to make our way to the Eyre Highway for a little bit.
Shake the dust off of the car, and you take your smile back to the start, don't you? And there's always another day, and there's always another way. And I keep getting stuck and say, where are we heading to now?
all those farm areas and stuff, going back out towards the blacktop, accidentally bumping into a lot of the history aspects of buildings, and again, which we seem to do a lot, is to bump into a cemetery that's small with only a few people.
The Dunn family It was 1908, 60 years. She made it till 78.
Well, it must be the son.
How old was he? 59. 1936.
Well, these ones are the descendants of Bookaby.
The harshness that they had to endure to live out there, young deaths. And then again, on top of that, there was some in their ripe ages. This one's a bit ironic here. Look at this. I mean, this poor fella died as a result of a horse accident, and they put a damn horse on his
He must have
tombstone.
loved horses.
It's humbling to think that each one of these people would have had the most incredible story to tell. I wonder if they enjoyed their lives down on the Nullarbor.
Finally made it to the Eyre Highway, the black top.
What are we doing on the blacktop?
I don't know, just to see what it's like, I guess. We've got to have a bit of a look at the Eyre Highway.
How much of a look?
Yeah, look, I think I've had enough of it already. We wanted to keep heading west, but in order to do this, we had to hit the tarmac for about 100 metres. And when I did this, I was in front, and I almost got taken out by a truck.
Get off, turn left, go.
Yep, that's scary, mate. Get off. First left, whatever that is, take it. We'll go somewhere.
It's dirt, it's dirt. We're off the black top. That was scary.
Oh, mate, what'd we do that for? You coming back on there, other people and nutcases and trucks.
Well, there's no chance of that happening tomorrow because where we're headed, no trucks can follow.
I've been waiting for this moment since we left.
Alternative fishing rod? Might be better than the one you're using.
I've been looking forward to this. Whack this on, we're getting to the dunes. Engage. Look at that. Wow, she's flexy.
Ooh.
Oh, they'll see me coming a mile away.
Well, leaving Fowler's Bay, you turn left onto a bit of sand, and you look up, there's a sand dune, and bang, you're straight into it. This looks like the track here on the left. I only had time to hit the centre diff lock button. I didn't realise. I thought you'd turn in and you'd sort of have a look up and then you'd drive, but no, bang. It was foot on the throttle, first gear, high range, centre diff lock button at the same time, bang, up we go. Yeah, it's not too bad, mate.
What's your gear movement there, mate?
I'm first gear, high range.
Little did I know, it just went straight up. I wasn't ready. I don't even think I was in four-wheel drive yet. So I put it in four-wheel drive quickly and hit it.
I don't know if you'll be able to stop up here, can I? So...
That's right, I've stopped just here.
Is that a good place to stop?
So I had to get Ernie to back, and then I backed back, and I had another crack at it. And that time I got it.
How'd you go, little fella?
Still going.
Coming up.
Now I want to see how Ernie's town car goes on the sand. Ah, he nails it.
Woohoo! This is awesome!
Once we got up that initial entry and we were on top of the dunes, it was just open expanses of beautiful white sand.
Woohoo! How good is this?
It's unreal. It feels like we're driving on snow or something.
You get up in the thick of it and it's just sand dunes left and right and in front of you. It was just for as far as you could see. Amazing feeling.
I'm just totally blown away, mate. I've never had this experience before.
Oh, have a look at that view on the left.
This is just awesome. Ernie, you loving this?
Woo, woo, mate, look at that.
Once you got to the top of the dunes, you could see back over Fowler's Bay where the jetty was, and it looked beautiful. And I think you could see Scott's Bay. I'm pretty sure it was Scott's Bay on the other side as well.
But I love it because we were the only ones on the sand dunes at the time, and because the last thing you really want is to see another flag before it's too late.
Oh, here we go. We're on the beach.
And you know the best bit? We're the only ones here.
There's a whole series of bays down here, isn't it? It's just beautiful.
Well, that's the thing, mate. People say, oh yeah, we did the Nullarbor and it was boring, we saw nothing. So it just goes to show that you can actually do the Nullarbor and it's not boring and there is lots to see.
Yeah, when I thought of the Nullarbor, I did not think this.
This is Nullarbor low range style. Driving along there, beautiful white sands. Was a bit breezy, a bit blowy, but you know, you don't let that ruin your day. It's still a beautiful place to go, whether it's windy or not.
And we're driving along, the sand was nice and hard. I actually got on the radio to Keno and said, oh, how good is this? The sand's nice and firm. Then all of a sudden, Keno, mate, I feel like I'm getting really soft, or I'm spinning a lot. Is it still firm to you?
Yeah, no, mate, you've hit a real soft section there.
Yeah, I had that really bad feeling that I'd done a CV or something.
Yeah, okay. Oh. Tide's coming in.
I thought there was something wrong with the vehicle because it was going so well, a lot of traction, it was sitting on top. Then the wheels just started spinning and it started going down and down.
Gleno wasn't towing. He managed to let a bit more air out of his tyres and move backwards and forwards a bit to get out. But by that time, I'd tried to get out myself and I went down.
Oh no, Keno's down too. Okay, so it is the beach.
Because we're really good at this, it wasn't until we were bogged that we decided to check what the tide was doing. Lucky for us, it was on its way in.
I had my towel that was wet from the morning shower, and I was trying to drape it flat on my car, but then I saw the great opportunity. There was a clothesline in front of me. I need somewhere to dry my towel, hang the washing out.
We'll start winching.
Winching.
And no matter how much pressure I let out of those tyres, they just kept spinning and digging back down because that sand was so soft. It was just that one section. I'm moving.
Wow.
Trailer's just coming up over the hump.
Righto, did you want to let off and let me get up the top, those tracks up there?
Ernie, can you unclip it?
It was just weird. I'd never felt this experience before in all my time of driving on beaches.
So we did the winch, reset a couple of times, but we weren't getting anywhere. Nah, going down again.
Towel's dry!
So we decided to connect the snatch strap and get Gleno to do a bit of movement backwards and forwards to put a track in front of me and then snatch the car out. And that's how we got it out. Yeehaw! Good work, Gleno.
And that was a sigh of relief, I tell you, when both of us were out. And I was a bit of a nervous wreck for the first couple of kilometres after getting going again.
After that incident, we decided to get a move on and keep making our way along the beach, especially with the tide still coming in. And unfortunately, the waves just weren't suitable for surfing. Ah well, I'm sure we'll find something eventually.
You want to get up to that point, fellas?
Hell yeah.
There's a few tracks in here. I'm going to take the one to the left. It follows around the headland. Hopefully that'll take us up to the top there. That'd be an awesome lookout.
Oh, that's good. I was thinking we were going to have to go up that thing there because that did not look very trailer friendly. This looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's taking us where we want to go. Oh, have a look at this nice bay. Look how clear that water is.
This is like nothing I've ever done before. This is a new one for me. I wonder if this headland actually used to meet up with that big chunk of rock out there and it's all just eroded away.
Yeah, it's a story to be told about that one, isn't there? This place is amazing.
Places like this are the reason I own a four-wheel drive. Imagine how many people would be here if any old car could get here. We have this place to ourselves, and that's extremely humbling.
The man-made monument was huge, one of the biggest I've seen. It went a couple of metres wide and a couple of metres high, and who started it? How long had it been around for? How long did it take to build this? It's pretty good humans do this.
It's like a milestone. You grab a rock and you place it on top, just to say, I've been here, done that, and then you can move on.
And if we don't move on soon, I have a feeling we're going to get blown off this headland.
I'm in a rock and roll dream. You know what I mean?
We left the monument and we decided to hug the coast. There's a little track that sort of headed out onto little lookouts all the way along it. So we just hugged the coast, crept along, and it was beautiful. It gave you a different aspect of where you had just been. So you could see the cliff edges that you were just driving along.
There's some great spots along there, wasn't there? Each cove was a different name and it was all like Mexican's hat. One they call it Sombrero Island. Did look like a Mexican's hat.
The bird life we're seeing along the way is just incredible. These guys are getting ready to head all the way to the Kimberley. There, they'll meet up with other flocks of birds and migrate to Siberia. Makes this trip seem like a drive to the corner store.
We'd had such a beautiful day climbing sand dunes, getting stuck, or nearly getting stuck, just exploring. That time got away on us. We popped out onto the Eyre Highway, so it was time to make some time up and get some Ks under our belt. So we belted down the Eyre Highway.
I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to gain. I gotta hit the road before I go insane.
Well, Nullarbor Roadhouse in the middle of nowhere, but close to everything. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Put some juice in the 200. Have a look at my ride. My ride's cool. Keno's over there. Go, Keno! He's on the unleaded. He hasn't sort of grown up yet. Anyway, a couple hundred Ks to somewhere else. The WA border today. So Keno, Ernie and I have been filling up on apples, mandarins, and we've had lots of mashed potato in the last couple of nights because you have to get rid of the whole lot at the border. How'd you go, Ernie?
Yep, no problem.
Filled up? Ken dog?
You take mine, I'm broke.
Yeah. Did you find out what number it was, Keno?
So you're going to pay everything at the same time?
Yes, on the motorpass.
Oh, we don't do motorbikes, actually the mission is out.
Oh, so field 3 today.
Well,
Haha, good try, Gleno.
Next morning, we fueled up at the Nullarbor Roadhouse, decided to take a look around because there's a lot of history there. That roadhouse has been there for a long time. They got the new one now, but the old one's still there standing. So this is the original workshop and fuel station.
Workshop? You don't get much in there. You might get a awesome
Mini, you'll get a mini.
Fill up the coffee.
Maybe they do. Wombat stew. Camel burger.
Can I have a steak, mushroom pie, sausage roll, 2 sauces please, and a double cheese chai latte.
Double cheese chai latte. That'll be $99.50, thank you.
Joe, do you take a card?
Yep. It's fantastic. There's a lot of history there, and talking to the locals and people that run the place, and just getting a real feel for how life is on the Nullarbor. So Dave, on a day-to-day basis, it's a big operation. What's your role?
So I'm the group maintenance manager for the 3 roadhouses the company owns. So it's the Nullarbor Roadhouse, Border Village Roadhouse and the Eldunda Roadhouse.
Oh, cool.
So each site we have obviously a lot of maintenance every day, and obviously a lot of reactive but also a lot of planned maintenance. And my role is to really support and facilitate the site managers and their maintenance managers that live on the site as well. So try and help them out as much as I can.
What's involved with running a place like this? Because a lot of people rely on you, right? Like, we came in here, if your fuel had gone down, we'd be stuffed.
Yeah, well, there's obviously a lot of moving parts into having a roadhouse.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got to make sure that our fuel's booked up and going to be on time. We've got to make sure all our stock, we're going to get deliveries once a week, so we make sure all our stock orders are in. Yeah, sort of plan for the worst, but expect the best, I suppose.
Being remote, you love it.
Yeah. I mean,
away from the hustle and bustle, no traffic lights.
No, definitely not. Okay. It's a 2-minute drive to work.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Seems like a happy bunch here at the Roadhouse. I guess you'd become your own little family after a while.
Now, I've crossed the Nullarbor quite a few times, maybe a dozen. I love the isolation. Very fortunate to even try it in the wet.
The Great Australian Bight is stunning to look at, and whilst also being one of the most amazing marine environments in the world. Between June and October, this is a prime whale watching spot, and the endangered southern right whale even uses the Bight as a nursery for its calves.
About 9,000 years ago, I wasn't here at the time.
Just the other day.
But when the Ice Age started melting and the water was rising, Nyanyi people come in from the desert, and in order to protect the land from being taken by the sea, they placed this area with spears, make a foundation.
So they were waterproof spears?
Basically, yeah. So they put all their spears in and made this big platform along here, and to stop the erosion. So a lot outside of here as well, all in this country here, what we call Nullarbor, there's a big subterranean underground water all through here. Yep. So although it might be about 2 foot on the top, 3 foot on the top, according to some of these trees,
there's still a lot of water underneath.
There's a lot of water back underneath there, yeah.
Hey fellas, less than 55 kilometres to the WA border.
This bottom section of South Australia has really just blown me away. The coastline is amazing, I just love it.
Yeah, I always thought that the crossing the Nullarbor, well, I never pictured it to be right beside the ocean. And I've never crossed the WA border from down here.
Well, one of the things, as you know, when it comes to borders,
You've got to be careful of the popo, the potato police they call them.
Yeah, apples, mandarins, all the good stuff. Gotta go.
Don't eat mandarin with the skin on. That's a word warning.
G'day, how are you?
I'm good.
Turn her off here.
You don't want to eat them while you're here?
Oh no, we stopped up the road and filled up.
Thank you. Yeah, mate, got it here.
Big fella, just go.
You can keep the carrot.
Oh, can we? Yeah.
I think she'll notice. Yay!
It's a bloody lolly.
She found an M&M on the seat, on the floor actually.
They took me bait. How am I supposed to catch any fish without bait?
Somehow I don't think having bait or not will make much difference, Keno. Well, we're filled up with fruit and veggies. It's a first for us. And annoyingly had to throw the rest out. But we've gained 1.5 hours in our day going into WA time. That's pretty cool.
Going mad on the Mad Mile. It can get you sometimes if you're not thinking, especially when you realise radio silence has gone down.
What are we going to do to keep ourselves amused on this mad mile, or to try and stop ourselves from going mad? Do I know any ideas? Anyone see that leprechaun run across the road?
With the unicorn.
I'm going to start counting the trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna turn the radio off. Shut up!
What was I up to? Yeah, so it went straight for like a long time, and then after that it kept going straight. And then after that straight bit, it was still straight. So yeah, it's straight.
They call it the Mad Mile, but it's actually 90 miles. And the road is dead straight. No bends, no slight corners, just dead straight. After a while, you'll find yourself going a bit crazy, a bit mad. Well, dusk was upon us, so we just took a track off to the left and headed a couple of kilometres in to this great expanse. It was absolutely beautiful. You couldn't hear the highway. There was nothing around. A beautiful campsite, absolutely magic. We had this place to ourselves. And from the imprints in the ground, some local camels too.
Did you know that bacon is one of my favourite food groups?
It's got bacon, it's got to be good. What?
Yes. And
Is it-
chicken
Yeah.
and onion.
What do you got to call it?
It's because we're on the Nullarbor,
Yeah.
and it's got chicken in it. I'm going to call it, and it's pasta. I'm going to call it Nullarbor fettuccine.
Fettuccine?
Fettuccine.
Oh, I like it. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Keno's cooking. I get excited with Keno's cooking. He takes his cooking to the next level. What else going in it?
We've got obviously pasta, but I'm boiling the pasta in milk. We've got basil pesto. Yeah. Garlic salt, salt and pepper, onion, garlic. Unfortunately, at the border, spinach got confiscated by the popo, potato police. So I'm adding a different vegetable instead of the spinach, and I'm adding hot salami.
No broccoli, no beans, no lettuce.
Can be hot enough?
Oh, it'll be hot enough soon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Bit of heat getting in there,
Got
eh?
some sizzle.
Dad hold my hands too, by the way.
Very good. Now I've got to crispy up this bacon. I'd never cooked it before, so it was a new recipe for me, so I just had to give it a go. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Sorry, mate?
No, I'm just trying to come up with a different name.
We're not having a different name. It's the Nullarbor fettuccine.
Let's come up with a different name, Ernie.
No, every time it's a different name. What's wrong with Nullarbor fettuccine?
Nothing. We give him a hard time, Ernie and I, but that's just more to get a reaction out of him.
This little stove goes all right.
This secret recipe
Secret, yeah.
comes from...
Basically, I just made it up. See how it goes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, that bacon is looking nice and crispy, and we've got a lot of bacon fat in there, which is what we're after. So now it's time for the chicken. Let's whack that in there, and that bit. Season it. Season, 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 season. Season, season. Garlic powder. Oh, stop it. All right, we're probably ready for the magic ingredient.
Yeah.
The replacement for the
Greens.
the greens, the spinach that got taken off us by
Yeah,
the
just
popo.
hand over the spinach, please.
Spinach. different
Nice
types.
Spinach.
Whack that in there. Yeah, I like spinach when it looks like that.
Now. Oh, the smell.
All right, I reckon this chicken's about ready.
Give me some.
It smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it smells
that spinach in there smells sensational. All right, if you want to grab that pan, I'll scoop all this out, and then we're ready for onion and garlic.
We're ready for Freddie. Oh, mate, look at
You're
that.
going to fill this thing.
Yeah, I know. Nice spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie, get that in there. The whole lot, just whack it in there. So now we just want to caramelise these.
How's good, Cano? Looking good.
Looking great. I've added the milk that we're cooking the pasta in, brought it to the boil. Now I need the pasta.
Throw them in.
Straight in.
That's our little fettuccine ball.
And so this sauce is going to render down while it sucks up, all the pasta sucks up all the juice and cooks it. It's going to be lovely. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Lid on, let it steam through.
All right, back around the fire. That's just got to do what pasta does. Suck up all the pasta sauce.
He surprises me, he really does, he sorts it out.
All right, we've got the pasta in there that's soaked up all the sauce and the milk.
Oh, yes, it has.
Right, and we pour this in. And then basil pesto. Whack all that in there.
Oh, this is the green stuff.
This is the green
Go
stuff.
on, have it.
Get it in there. Oh, smell that. All right, now parmesan, whole bag.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I bother.
You just
He said chuck the whole bag in.
Yeah, well, right, we just get it all mixed together and nice and hot. It's hot in there.
That pesto has just knocked that taste out of the ballpark.
All right, I reckon we're ready to serve. Some more?
Please, mister, can I have some more?
Let the horse go.
Where's a bit of chicken?
And it was unreal. Like the sauce and how he did it with milk and the pesto.
Oh, good spinach, really.
Pesto is good. Perfect amount of pesto. I'm going home. I'm going to buy 2 bottles of pesto. I'm going to make exactly the same dish. Good on you, Cano. You're champion.
When you're in camp first thing in the morning, it's a natural alarm clock. It's nature. It's what you get woken up by first. It's first light and the sound of the birds waking up and starting their day.
That was the longest mad mile I have ever done. One would normally do it in about an hour 15, hour 20. It took us 38 hours. That was pretty cool.
Ernie calls it the Mad Mile. I think it's the Mad 90 Mile. I loved it. A lot of people say they get bored along there, but I just drive like this. I just take it all in. I love driving. Oh, we got a turn. What do? We've got to check the steering wheel works.
Hang on, I'll just go straight for a little while.
Ah, then into a right-hander. Look out. Steering still works. Look, I think I've had enough of this blacktop. Let's get off it again.
Once we'd finished the Mad Mile and reached Balladonia, it was time to get off the blacktop again.
How we do things in low range and how we choose our tracks, we don't set out and know exactly where we're going. A lot of it's just off the cuff. And when you come to an area where you've been on the blacktop for too long and there's a track heading left and you know it's got to take you down to the beach somewhere, you take it. But sometimes these tracks turn out not to be that good. Sometimes they can be 200 kilometres long of dust and corrugations and you just don't want to be there. A few corrugations for you, Ernie.
I love corrugations. Not.
I gotta get out of this dust.
Mate, this would have been like the Nullarbor a few years ago.
It's just luck. But it's always an adventure when you're travelling with your mates, no matter what the conditions. And one of the great things about heading down an unknown track is stumbling upon the weird, wonderful, and the unexpected. Hey, Keno, Ernie, got any undies or bras or anything like that?
You can understand when you get to this gate and find out these crazy people have gone before you and they've crazy put all these clothing items on this crazy gate. They must have been as silly as we were.
Hey, look, there's your mum's bra, Glen.
Oh.
Holy!
Ernie, you need a spare bra?
You hold that one end each for us. Oh, cables.
All cable tie.
Now watch this.
You just wanted me to touch your stinky shirt. Mr. Motar around the world on a motorcycle, 2014, 2015.
But there were some items on there that, unless you can, normal people wouldn't sniff.
Oh, that's probably been there about 5 years.
There's lots of women with no bras and panties around.
Let's go look.
Blokes with no shirts and people with no shoes getting around. I reckon we'll find them. Ah, the things people come up with for a laugh. You gotta love it. Well, the dust thickened and the corrugations got deeper, but we're hoping it's all worth it in the end. We want to see Keno actually put his surfboard to use. So we're hoping there's some decent surf at the end of this track.
Don't need no preacher man to tell me right from wrong. Don't need no real estate to prove where I belong. Don't need no passenger to tell me where to go. Don't need no travel guy to go and steal the show. Just me in the open road, got it going on.
Well, there must have been a bit of a fire through here, lads, eh?
Yeah, and have a look at that regrowth. I bet it hasn't taken long for that to come back.
Yeah, I wonder how long ago the fire actually was, but there's going to be plenty more kindle around once all these trees that didn't survive drop.
Very pretty countryside.
Yeah, it's a nice change of terrain again, isn't it, really?
You know, when we got up this morning, there was no way in the world there was going to be a shower of rain, and we haven't seen it, but definitely being one up here. The dust that we encountered earlier was unforgiving.
Yeah, it's either that or a water truck's been through here.
Yeah, I think the water truck's been through.
Well, if it's a water truck, I hope it's got a big tank, because this track feels as long and straight as the Eyre Highway.
Driving along a little bit further for a few hours, all of a sudden this dirty great big mountain came out of nowhere. And it's only a couple of metres smaller than Uluru.
Have a look at the rolling hills on it and how they're covered in foliage.
It looked unreal, almost looked like it was covered in carpet. There was a walking track at the end, but I couldn't talk Glen and Ernie into that. I was super keen, as I always am, for a good old bushwalk, especially up a cliff face.
It said on the sign, a 3 hour or 3.5 hour return trip. For me, it would have been something like 7 hours. Matthew Flinders named this mountain rugged when he sighted it in 1802 during his exploration of the southern coast of Australia. This area was actually a biodiversity hotspot, supporting over 1,500 plant species, and 87 of these can't be found anywhere else in the world. Mate, have a look right in front of you, Keno. There's the water. And what a relief that is. I can't wait to get off this track. This has been a long, bumpy road.
Looks like there might even be a lake down there.
Mate, no excuses, no gunners. We're getting so close I can smell that water.
It's a good feeling when you start getting close to the coast again, isn't it? I can't wait. I might even go for a swim, even though it's going to be cold. But it'd be good if there was some swell. The surf would be better.
Tell you, mate, she's been one epic little run down here.
That it has. Look at the track. You can see it goes straight through the guts there, heading straight for that lake. But, mate, see what it does when we get to that lake, whether we have to drive left or right. Oh, it's huge. So we're not quite at the ocean just yet. First we need to navigate our way through these clay pens, and they are huge.
Down we went, again following this road. These push drove through a couple of clay pads. They were awesome. Finally, bit of flat road, you know, can get up to at least 80.
Not for long, unfortunately.
What do you got for us up front, big fella?
Well, what's happened, I'd say it's rained, and it's filled up a lot of these wheel ruts. So I'm not sure whether it's sloppy, boggy, or just got water in them.
All right, then let her rip.
That's not too bad.
No, it was option A, ruts full of water.
Still a bit slippy.
I just thought with the 100 series, just drop it in smooth, keep a nice easy pace. Right. Looked, I looked really, really cool going through there. Got down to find this old telegraph house, building, mansion. Thinking, what for? On the coast, yeah, that's fine. You can get stuff in from the jetty, but you wouldn't want to drive it into there. In those days, I reckon it'd take 2 or 3 days.
Don't quite quote me on this, guys, but I'm pretty sure that this is where Skype started.
Skype?
Yeah.
Skype?
Yes, Telegraph headquarters. So, you know, Skype, I reckon it would have been Skype.
Well, you're not exactly right, Kenno, but it was a communications building. The telegraph station was part of the intercolonial telegraph line, South Australia to Western Australia. It was originally built in wood in 1876, but it was replaced with a stone structure in 1896. Can you believe that at its peak, this remote settlement was home to 150 people?
Very interesting to think that it was a major construction and they were built to last, and they did.
We'd gone a long way on these harsh tracks to try and find a beach with waves and beautiful white sand, but unfortunately I think we were there at the wrong time of year.
We had to break Kenno's gunner tradition. He was going to go surfing no matter what, how cold it was, whether it was just a ripple in there, whether I had to do a bomb dive to make a wave. It was going to happen, so we just kept driving until we found it. I think we had to drive another 200 kilometres on top of that track to finally make it to Esperance.
Wow, we finally found kind of a wave.
It took us 2,500 k's to get it.
Well, it's nice, isn't it?
It is a nice spot.
Beautiful.
That was it. Threw the wetsuit on. The boys had to dig at me as per usual.
Well, I hope he has fun out there.
Yeah, I reckon he's gonna.
But I didn't mind. I love getting in the water in the morning. Clears your mind, sets you up for a good day.
And you know the funny thing? Even you take him to the waves, you take him to other people are surfing, and I still don't think he really did it.
Yeah, so the best part about this trip for me is definitely finishing that loop on my map. Done a lot of trips in Australia and been everywhere and anywhere, but to join those dots and complete that loop, that's awesome for me. But if you're going to go and do the Nullarbor, make sure you get off the hard top, head down to the coast because it is amazing down there. Beautiful spots, beautiful places to camp, beautiful beaches. Just go and have a look. Unbelievable area.
All in all, This trip across the bottom of the Nullarbor was total bliss. Lots happening left, right and centre. Great run, great chance to get your tyres down and enjoy the ride. And it was an enjoyable ride. I loved it. And the best thing about this, it brought me back to my state.
To start this trip off, I was in a sombre mood. Obviously just coming from a really good mate's funeral, because we were all mates with him. The film crew, Ken and myself, and it was just a great time to be with the lads. We were all in the same boat. We were reflecting. For me, it was just a time to think. Appreciate life, appreciate your mates, appreciate family, appreciate just being here. And that made me happy. Next episode is an absolute ripper. We headed up to Cape York, which was my favourite, and did the old coach road. And I reckon this is the most challenging off-roading Ernie has ever done. We met some really interesting locals along the way, went into some caves, got caught in a bushfire, and that's just the start of it. Be sure to check out episode 21 of Low Range.
I know that this trip's a little bit harder for you too.
Just over 2 weeks ago, we lost a good mate.
Yeah, you want to tell me about him?
Robbo.
Robbo, our mate.
Steve
Robbo.
Robson.
Yeah. It was a shock to us all. I was heading down to film with him. You know, we did these sorts of trips with him, and a lot of them. You know, we spent a lot of time with him, and we were sitting around the campfire like we do a few, telling each other stories, having a drink, you know, enjoying the tracks, and exactly what we're experiencing now we've done with him. And so it was pretty sad for us, but his family wanted us to celebrate what he'd done in the time that he was here, which was a lot.
He's only 48.
Yeah.
Massive heart attack got him.
What sort of a bloke was he?
He was a gentle giant, I would say.
Big, staunch man.
Yeah, big, staunch, tough fella, but he...
Irish background.
Yeah, looked after all the people around him, made sure everyone was okay.
I think about him. Well, I haven't stopped thinking about him every single day. And pretty much just, you know, yesterday when the time was up for a couple of weeks after he'd passed, you know, it was just, I was thinking about the guy. But what I think about is all the good times, the fun times, because that's all it was with him. He was just an absolute larrikin. I remember the first time I met him, it was a Victorian high country trip, and he'd never been four driving before. He'd rocked up in a Hilux, came to the pub to meet us guys, the rest of the guys on the trip, and I was quizzing him a bit about his car. I said, oh yeah, what are you driving? He said, oh, I got a blue Hilux out there. And I said, oh yeah, what's done to it? He said, oh, you know, it's got some mud tyres on it and a UHF thingy on the bull bar. Thingy on the bull bar. I go, oh, here we go. Oh man, did he drive. Great singer. Karaoke, look out. If there's music going, oh.
Yeah, well, any music going, he'd be into it. He loved his music, loved all the older type music that he grew up with, right into it. Yeah, just...
He get a belt out of tune too. Life of the party.
Out to the
Guy walked into a party and everyone's attracted to him, and then straight up to the microphone, karaoke. Yeah. If there was no karaoke, he'd just make it.
Yeah, he'd light a room up when he'd come in for sure. You know, he's going to be sorely missed. He was definitely a character and well known in the industry, and just a good mate. You know, like more than just a colleague, a good mate.
At the crematorium, I suppose it was the celebration we went to. I've never been anything like it. There was clapping and cheering and laughing and
I've never been to
more laughter
to a service like that where people clap and cheer and laugh, and so it was really good. And that's what Steve-O would have wanted. He wouldn't have wanted everyone being there, sad and crying.
Oh, I'd be pissed off he wasn't there.
It almost felt like, you know, that's the only thing that was missing, was Steve-O walking into the room going, "What's going on here then?"
Hello.
Yeah. Like,
hello.
That's what was missing, Steve-O. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, mate, if you're up there,
He's definitely up there.
One for you, Steve-O.
One of the good ones.
Cheers, mate.
This is just a hello from Gleno. Welcome. Low range, episode 20. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Fish! I got a fish! I got a fish!
We're on a little backtrack, and we found a little offshoot to the left.
What's an offshoot?
It's an offshoot.
That's how he says off.
I'm gonna try and pull him out. I'm pulling him. I think he might be just letting out some rope to make me look good.
Sat around, have a couple of wines. Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene.
That's the saying.
Good night, Irene.
That's the saying.
We're actually being filmed at the moment.
Yeah, you're on camera.
No, look.
Hey, stop. I think your mic is on the ground.
You really don't know how to use that thing at all. Do you? You know you don't know how to use it because you don't have a vest. This screams cameraman.
Whoa, look at that guy. That's, whoa, wicked man. And we got the wrong size bracket.
There you go. Well, that's it on there like that.
Absolutely.
Now, Ernie, we're going to have to stop feeding you, mate. Keep wildlife wild. You can turn an animal into a pest while feeding you. That's done. It's done that.
Coffee shop is shut. Coffee.
But I just want one flat white.
Yeah. If I pound you down, that'll make you flat, you little white thing.
That'll make me a flat olive.
Yeah, Gab, you're not here.
I'm not here.
Nope.
Hi.
You're not here.
Oh, sorry. Do it again. Okay.
Wolfie's the only one that's here.
Oh,
Go.
go.
I'm going.
I got a shovel! I got a shovel!
You know, that's the home ice cream man when he comes down the street, you know, the belly ring.
Yeah?
But you know what the bell's for?
Well,
To let you know that he's out of ice cream.
I know.
That's what you tell the kids. He'd stopped coming around our place because my kids started chucking rocks at him. You're out of ice cream again! Hey, Gav.
Hey, mate.
What are you doing here?
I'm just watching you and adjudicating from the side.
Mate, you're supposed to be the cameraman, but I'm holding it.
No, I took a day off. Sorry.
We're driving through the dunes. Started coming down a little bit. Started getting a bit tighter. And then we realised that there's a bee on the sticks. And Mel's looking at it thinking she's going to get stung and die. No, don't come near me. Ah! I need a bigger spanner, Gleno. This one's not big enough.
Okay.
I just found out that if you're eating a minty and you have an orange or mandarin, it tastes like yogurt.
It's my little carry bag for my whiteboard. Isn't that pretty?
I don't know what the big fella was thinking. Juice south.
This one doesn't fit at
So
all.
this is what happens behind the scenes. Moritz actually does all the work.
Oh, what? We got our very own North Korean doing the.
Yes, this is his missile launcher.
This is where I'm gonna put the red button right there.
Don't say that, it won't work.
Okay. We might have to stay here and wash the dishes.
Again?
Yeah.
We did that the last survey.
It was time to hit the off-road again. Time to hit the off-road again. It's time to get off-road again. And you know the best bit? We're the only ones here. Except for that camera crew over there.
Damn, we need to get a decent cameraman up here.
If you can stop in cars, that would be great.
Okay, bye-bye.